Okay, boys and girls, I'm now on page 18, the second part of chapter 2. Be a good cheer, 'cause Aldo's here, a voice announced. Aldo, my friend, I squeaked as I jumped on my wheel and began spinning happily. Aldo parked his cleaning cart near the door and clumped over to my cage. Happy New Year, Humphrey. You're looking handsome and healthy, he told me. Aldo is a true friend. And you the same, I squeaked back. Who's your buddy? Aldo glanced at Og. Hey, I know you, the frog from down the hall. What are you doing here? You don't want to know, I squeaked. Aldo turned back to me. Calm down, pal. I brought you something. He reached into his pocket and unwrapped the most beautiful tiny tomato I've ever seen. I could have cried. Thanks, Aldo, I squeaked as I tucked the treat in my cheek pouch. You're welcome, Humphrey. Aldo looked over at Og again. Sorry, I don't know what frogs eat. You don't want to know that either, I assured him. Aldo grabbed a paper bag and pulled a chair up close to me. May I join you for dinner? He asked. He didn't need to ask. We'd shared many happy evenings while he took his dinner break. I took a deep breath. Aldo gave off a pleasant smell of chalk dust and pine spray. He smelt the way I imagined a forest smells. Somewhere way, way, way back in time, wild hamsters must have lived in forest, down in sweet earthy piles of rotting leaves and fallen pine cones. Yep, Aldo smelled like home. Mind if we have a little talk, he asked. Of course I didn't. I've been trying to get old Lumpy to talk all evening. I got something new to tell you, Humph. Remember how I gave my girlfriend Maria an engagement ring for Christmas? Well, I've got bigger news. On New Year's Day, she and I ran off and got married. He held up his left hand. A gold band glittered on one finger. I hope you'll be happy, happy, happy. I squeaked with delight. Thanks, pal. I know I told you that you'd be at my wedding, but we decided to get hitched quietly. You understand, he asked. Naturally, I squeaked. Yes. After all, I helped get them together in the first place. And when I met Maria, she was as nice as Aldo. Yep, I'm an old married man now, real happy. But I've started thinking, Humphrey, I like this job, but it doesn't pay a whole lot. Aldo paused to chew a bite of his sandwich. I'd like to have kids and a house and maybe raise a couple hamsters of my own. Fine with me, as long as he didn't raise any frogs. I sure would love to have my evenings free to spend with my family, pal. I've got to find a way to get a better job, Aldo continued. You can do it, I squeaked. Aldo was quieter than usual as he finished his dinner. I spun on my wheel to entertain him, but he was lost in thought. Finally, he folded up his bag. Guess I'm not good company tonight, Humphrey. I bet that frog makes better conversation than I do. Fat chance, I squeaked. After Aldo cleaned the room and left, I did some thinking. Personally, I believed Aldo was already as fine a human as I've ever seen. I'd miss him if he worked somewhere else, but he was my friend, so he wanted a better job. I wanted to help him. I started jotting down ideas in my notebook and lost track of time. Later, I heard splashing. I'd almost forgotten about you-know-who next door. Hey, what's shaking, Og? I called out to him. Maybe he thought over his bad behaviors and wanted to apologize for his bad manners. There was no reply, just splish, splash, splish. Personally, the idea of being covered in water is disgusting to me. I prefer to groom myself the time-honored way, using the tongue, teeth, paws, and toenails. I thoroughly clean myself every day. The students in room 26 love to watch me. At least they did before Google Eyes came along. Still, if I had to share a table with him, I figured I might try again to be friendly. Having a nice bath, I asked. There was no answer, not even another splash. But there was another sound, the crickets. So they were alive after all. Og would have to eat noisy food. My Nutra nibbles and mighty mealworms didn't make a sound until I crunched down on them. But the crickets, whom I actually felt sorry for, made a funny singing song. Chirp, chirp. Apparently, they were nocturnal, like me. It was going to be a long night with noisy crickets and a silent frog. I hopped on my wheel and tried to spin my irritation away. It didn't work. The only way to have a friend is to be one. Ralph Waldo Emerson, American poet and essayist. All right, boys and girls, hope you enjoyed Chapter 2, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.